Yeah, and I thought, well, that's probably true, you know. And a bee makes a living, but we're the highest. So why should our life be focused on making a living? You know what I mean? I think it's a thoughtful sort of idea. You know, see what you think?
It's big.
Yeah.
It's big. But it all comes to one problem. How do I escape that trap or
Of being a wage slave.
yeah, exactly. What can I do?
Well, you know, I think it's a dilemma for everyone. You know, for me, everyone. And I think the real secret, I think, is that our society, in a way, has glorified certain things. Like, you know, let's go back 1,000 years. Let's go back. 1,000 years ago, if I went into a church, hello, welcome, how are you? Yeah. So 1,000 years ago, if I went into a church, I think all of us have been in a church or seen images of these enormous cathedrals. Hello, please, welcome. Yeah, we're talking about a concept called "Don't be a wage slave." And my clever friend speaks Chinese very well, so he can explain anything at all. Right? So if you went into a church, basically, you went into a church, let's say 1,000 years ago, you'd walk in, you lived in a very dirty little house with a hole, right? And you went into this church, and suddenly the church had light, and it was relatively clean, and you were just shocked. And obviously this is a place of God. So they tell you this is about God. You must be, right? And the priest looks so fat and I'm so thin. Must be about God, right? But now, if you notice, when we walk into a bank is the new church. It's actually, we walk in, everyone's, really, we're very humble, you know, everyone waits in their line, and then we go up, and we're dealing with money, right? Money. Now, money is an important phenomenon, right? It's important. We all need money. I need money, Steve needs money, but money has no power, because money is like air. Right? And if George Soros, what is his name? George Soros, he's a financier, right? George Soros, he's really very well known. I can show you my phones. And how long did it take George Soros to make? How much money is this? That's 1,000 million or billion. It's £1 billion. It's about 1.3 billion US dollars. How long did it take George Soros to make this money? How long? He made this money in 1 day. 1 day. Right? So I mean, you see, if I'm selling my time for whatever, right? I'll never make this money. If in a lifetime, 10 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes, I'll never probably make this money. Right? So I have to be somewhat real and realize that my efforts to make a living can't be placed in any great context because I can't compete against this money. Right? So I have to find another value for life. So I think that's the beginning stage of change, mental change. You know, is that we have to say to ourselves that I need money, I have children, you know, they went to an expensive school. I know, you know, how much money, how much children cost, right? You know, I have 2 sons, right? But I think that's the beginning of change. You say to yourself that I'm not going to give this the value that everyone else seems to give. What do you think?
Yeah, because we were taught that, well, education is important. Get into a good school, good university, and then it's very likely that you get a good job. That's what we were taught. You know,
Me too.
Kids.
Absolutely.
So I feel that the hardest part is probably that how do we get rid of this thought?
Yeah.
This is probably the hardest part.
Well, I think to yourself, I think, you know, coming from experience, somewhat, you know, old thing. I think, to me, that you have to be honest with your life. I think, really, like you can't fool your life. You got to be honest with who you are, and that's a bit painful because you really have to get in the mirror and go, okay, this is who I am, and then you do have to unless you're independently wealthy, right? You do have to have income to pay for a home, things, things cost money, right? You do need that, right? But you have to realize that there are ways. If the bees and the ants can make a living getting their whatever they collect, then I can do the same thing. But the real focus is to get that out of the way as quickly as possible. And that's a career. That's the secret. Right? What do you think?
Okay, but what can I do? How can I find my career?
Well,
that is a big problem.
Yeah.
Another big problem.
Well, we talked about what I believe is just I'm kind of a boring old guy, right? Yeah, really. I just do what I think is simple. I just take a line on a piece of paper, right? I've drawn this before. I put my gifts, right? My gifts. And I draw a line, and then another line, right? And the secret here is I cannot show my mom or my dad or especially my friends, Steve. Especially my friends. My friends love me, right? They love me and they want to do the best for me, but they're not me. When you have your own children, you'll find that you the only person you know 100%. And you love your children and you want to do the best for your children, but you'll never know them 100% because you can't be inside their bodies. You can't. You hope that your education and your love will guide your children, right? So I write here my gifts, and then I simply write what I am good at. And you have to be honest, is the point here, right? What I am. And so what I write, just as an example, what I wrote, because I've done this, what I've written, I'm good at talking. I like talking. I'm a big talker, right? So I'm good at talking, but I'm extremely shy. Right?
You don't look shy.
No, I'm shy. No, I'm shy. No, I am shy. No, for sure, I am shy. But, looking at this, and then we talked about, Matthew Ricard again, this is a part of me, right? Like a part of all of our characteristics I think we cannot get rid of. I'm not going to change me. How? Impossible. So people say, well, if you're going to speak, you have to stop being shy. How? Right? Shyness is a part of me, Steve. Nervousness, fear, all these things, right? So I read, there's this Buddhist, I like him, Matthew Ricard, right? And he's this man is an interesting man because he's from a very, very powerful French family, and he was supposed to be a geneticist, very clever individuals, father and mother, very eminent writers and painters, but he instead wanted to be a Buddhist monk. So he's getting pulled into India, and yet on the other side his father is, you can imagine what his father is saying, right? But eventually, being a monk, won out. He left, he was at the Pasteur Institute outside of Paris, very powerful, important people. And he walked away. Well, not walked away so much, but he eventually became a monk. And this is his theory, that all of us have emotion, right? And let's call it the lake of emotion. And when, let's say I'm shy or angry or jealous or whatever it is, right? So this fills my lake, right? Like this. And when I'm here, I can't see anything but my shyness. I think we've all been there, going to speak and you can't even speak. The heart is going like this, right? That's me at least. And he says, you can't lose the emotion of shyness. But do a mental image. And imagine the lake and there's my boat. Hello. And there's my boat of shyness. I'll draw it over here. My boat of shyness. Right? So my lake now is clear, right? It's clear. So I still keep my shyness, which I'll never lose. I keep it behind me, I watch it. But I'm lucid in the world, to realize. And he asks the question, of course, which is so true. Steve, who makes you shy? Myself, only, right? Only. And then he asks the question, which I really enjoy. For all of us, where am I standing right now to you? Where am I standing? Sorry, yeah. You like my shoes? Those are new shoes. Yeah. So where am I? Where am I standing? Where am I? To you, where am I? It's not meant to be a trick question. If you win, you got $100. No, that's not. No, but honestly, the logical answer, of course, is that I'm standing right here, right? But to you, of course, I'm not. Because you are taking me into through your optic nerve, you're taking me inside of you, right? So you see me inside you, obviously. And then you create an image. Fat, thin, tall, short, old, young, smart, stupid, whatever. So that image is inside of you. So it's the same, I think, the same idea here. If we can take that emotion, and this is not easy for sure, if we can take that emotion, then that's what I think, Steve. I mean, gosh, what do you think?
This must be an interesting question. When I was a kid,
You're still a kid. Yeah, you're still a kid.
I was, there's a period of time I was asking myself, I want to know, I want to get inside somebody's body to see the world through that somebody's eyes. I was wondering, is it any difference between what they see and what I see?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, and there is. This in English, this is a word we don't often see, but it's called solipsism. It means I can touch you, I can feel the warmth of your body, but who are you? I'll never really know. I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure. And at its most severe, you're sick, you're not well, right? So, but Steve, an interesting experiment. Have a shower, put your pajamas on or not, wipe off the mirror, wrap your arms around yourself and talk to yourself in the mirror, right? So what you see is a body that's you, but it can't be me because I'm here, right? So you have this really bizarre sort of conversation between you, the person, which is inside of me, and that body that looks like me, So I don't know, right? Change. You have done it. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Try it. It's very scary. It is.
I cried.
Yeah, did you? It's scary because you're looking at you as a body in the world, not as who you are, which is right here. And I think, hello, you're welcome to come. It's okay. But I think, Steve, that coming back to money and wage slavery and all of these things, I really do think it begins here. I think that anyone has some, in my humble estimation, anyone who's a person of intelligence or great depth has taken some time inside, either through prayer or meditation or whatever. And I don't mean a religious stance. I mean, many people have a religion. That's a good thing probably, but you have to go inside. You have to. And then once you go inside, you realize that, wow, from this great strength in here, all is possible, right? And I think that's about change. I gotta begin with me, right? Whenever I traveled, I'm quite fortunate. I travel sometimes, and I always try to speak to people. Do you like your job? Why are you here? I told you about in Paris the last time I asked the clochard. They're like, why? Pourquoi vous ici? Why are you there? There's always an excuse. I lost my money, of course. That's the easy one, right? I lost my life, etc., etc. Lost my wife. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drug addict. I mean, there's always some reason, right? But there is no reason to life. Are you sitting today? You can't. You working?
No, I don't know.
Oh, you're welcome to sit if you want. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I think you have to be a bit cruel. And we know the big five: alcohol, drugs, sex, money, power. I mean, those are the addictions that exist in the world. And if you don't I mean, all of us will experience those as people. And I think we're lying to our children if you say you won't experience these things, right? But then you have to overcome them, or not. It's your life, right?
Yeah, but I think that's the easy shelter. If I face something that I don't want to deal with, those are the shelters that I can hide myself inside.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with it, but I have to deal with it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's true, eh? It's true. Yeah.
It's actually not easy. That's why there are so many people get addicted to something, especially those big fives, and just couldn't get away. It was just easy, right? Whenever I got I got some bad emotions, then I could go there, comfort myself. It's very easy, but
yeah, go on, say. I don't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
who's this guy?
The Dylan. Then we come to the Dylan Thomas question. He's the chap. He's the poet. Do not go gently into the night. Rage against the dying of the good light. He's the Welsh poet, and he's very famous, right? The poem is about his father as such, but he was drunk all the time, always drunk. He was just blasted from morning till night, and he was married, and his wife was also drunk. So the Dylan Thomas question is, could he have been better without the alcohol? In this case, some people do drugs, and nobody knows. But the answer probably is yes, right? I mean, the great philosophers were not stoned or drunk in Chinese society and Western society, usually. I mean, there are people that were, but not many, so, yeah. So, how do we find this path, Chris? What do we do to find where we're going? Because your school's finishing and university's starting and going to be a famous lawyer. I should get your signature now, but but you know what I mean. Like law is a career, so it's a little different, right? But you're going to see lots of people soon that fall away. It's like you're on a path and people just stop. They just fall away, and you'll go back. I have a village that was born in 60 years ago, as you know, and I have no association with those people at all. I'm a different world, right? So, what do, you think? What's the answer? It's like in school. I got to answer a question. No, what do you think? What do I do?
What do I do?
Yeah. So I really get on my path, my career. I really stay with it. What do I do, you think? Yeah.
Believe in myself.
You are? Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome. My name is Leon. Hello. Hi.
My name is Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. How you doing? You too. This is my friend Steve. Yeah. We're talking about change, so you have to answer the question. Yeah. Everyone. Why not? It's just us. Just innocent people here, So what do you think? If we're talking about not being disappointed with my life, let's say, then we have to come to a point that we like what we do, right?
Follow the sound of
your heart?
Yeah, follow my heart.
Yeah. Easy to do?
No.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Because we sometimes forget the main purpose, and we go on the wrong path.
Yeah, for sure. So how do we get back then? When we get on the wrong path, what do we do? Yeah.
You need to. I think I need to follow my heart. Maybe find some. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's too hard for me to.
Yeah. You think? So, Steve, I think Mandarin. Speak to people in Mandarin. I think. What do you think? Yeah.
是你想说的，你说不出来吗？还是？
我觉得这个题目有点。
还没想过。
因为没有怎么想过。
No.
It's
You can always start it with why.
Why?
Why do you want to be a lawyer?
Oh,
Is your father a lawyer?
no.
Okay. Anyone in your family a lawyer? Okay, so you'd be the first lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay. No, why? No, don't say maybe. No, maybe. There's no maybe.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Dr. Chu. You can ask this young woman. She's met him. He's a nice guy. Yeah, he's a nice man. Good model, right? He's going to be a lawyer. Yeah, so cool. Yeah.
Sooner or later, you'll confront some of the ugliest things.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, criminal.
Dark.
Yes.
Dark
bad
stuff.
things.
Well, yeah, if you're that kind of lawyer, you can be a civil lawyer, or you can be a trademarks lawyer, dealing with one of those, There's lots of lawyers, right?
Still, you have to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to be a lawyer?
Because I think why I choose to study law is because
You like?
我把不要的，就是我 law is the best.
Oh, law's the last one. What was the first one?
No, I mean I eliminate.
Eliminated. So what was the first one? Philosopher? Like me? Useless job? Can never get a job ever? No.
The first one?
Yeah.
Something about science or.
Yeah, do you like science? No, you don't. Oh, you don't. Oh, you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Would you like to answer or no? What do you think? When you decided to study, how did you plan your career? What did you do?
你现在在工作吗？还是上学？对，那么你将来可能面对工作的问题嘛，对不对？那么我是不是应该就是我们要谈的是不要当薪资的奴隶，那么不要当薪资的奴隶，那么也就是说我们要找一个我可以投入我的精力、投入我的心血在上面的一件事情，而且我做的很高兴的事情嘛，那个叫 career， 对不对？值得我去投入的事情，你想过这个问题吗？哦，真的。结论是什么呢？
Kinds of things, And I always think if we talk to people, because some people really just do not know.
Why do you want to be a teacher?
My
mom is a teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
I like children.
Children?
Yeah.
How old? Like the little monsters? The little one, they run around like rats and they're everywhere? Or dogs? I guess dogs better.
Children.
Oh, they're children? Oh, okay. What are these small people? I've had experience with these people. What do you call those, Steve? Have you ever taught at a school with those people? Have you ever had those little people? Yeah, kindergarten. Yeah, they're like dogs. They are. They run around. They run around. They're up the walls, on the ceiling. They're grabbing your leg. It's amazing. Yeah. Have you ever had that experience? Have you ever?
有经历过吗？有经历过那些小孩子？
Yeah.
My little brother.
Oh, your brother. Oh, you have a little brother?
He
6 years
Six.
younger than I am.
Wow. And did you used to hit him? Yes?
Yeah.
You see? Why does everyone hit the younger brother? Poor guy. Yeah.
He's very naughty.
Was he naughty? Was he bad? But they're always bad. Yeah.
So you want to be a teacher?
So, yeah. Huh? Nancy, hi. Are you shy? You look shy. Look, you're red in the face. Why shy? we don't, here, you know, here there's only us, right? There's only what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So we don't have to be shy, right?
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin, Kevin, sorry. So, because, you know, we always have this question, honestly, like, who makes you shy?
Who makes me shy?
Yeah.
No one makes me shy.
No, yourself.
Myself?
Yeah. Because you're shy because, I mean, I'm shy too. I'm a shy guy.
Really?
Oh yeah, Steve knows. Very, very, no, it's true. Very, very shy. Yeah, honestly.
He's always very humorous.
Yeah, yeah. No, but I'm shy. But I've realized that I can't speak to people if I'm shy. You know, so I have to control it. You know, but my body at times gets, you know, I get sick before I talk. All those things, all true. You know, but I realized a long time ago, because Steve and I really believe in what we do, right? And we talk to a lot of people about don't be a wage slave, because I think our society is producing a lot of wage slaves everywhere in the world, and young people are not happy. So many of them don't go to work or avoid work, and the older ones are addicted to alcohol or drugs or God knows what. So obviously this system is not working, obviously, right? So I think it's up to us to ask the question, why? And the why is because many of us are not doing what we should do, what we love. And then comes the question Steve has written, then we ask, why not? Right? I write not here. Right. Why not? Like, why are we not doing what we love? And there's always a reason. My mother wanted me to study something, or my father did, or I ended up doing this. And then, you know, life is a wonderful experience because it's very long. So you'll find that you go along and you're into something, and suddenly once you're into something, you kind of stay with it. Let's say marriage, right? You're married, I've been married. You're into marriage, and marriage has its own situation. And so you're in marriage, and now, oh, I'm not on my path. But now get out of this, it's hard, right? To go back, you know, hard, I think. So, you know, so that's why I think we talk about it, Steve. Talk about change and whatever. What do you think? What's your opinion? What is leave me? Is that leave me alone, or just leave me? Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, what do we do? Like, if we really want to find, like Steve was asking the question about finding, you know, where we want to go in life, our path, our mission. Like, how do we find it? No.
Do what you love.
Yeah. Well, yeah? Do what good for you. Yeah, but what if my mom says I don't, you know, I don't want you to study this, I want you to study that.
Persuade her.
You persuade her. But what if you can't? Like my father, I never persuaded him until he was, I think, 82. I mean, just about 3 years before he died, we finally had a relationship, right? He was always very kind to me, for sure, and gave me money and helped me and all those things, but we didn't have a relationship until he was 82. You know, right? Kind of, I was here already, you know, kind of touching in a way, you know, so. So, what do we do if we get stopped in our plans?
Maybe we can pause. Maybe the thing wants to continue later.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't give up.
No.
We don't give up. Never give up. It's true? Yeah? Never give up. Yeah? It's true. So if I want to be a painter or a teacher or a lawyer or whatever, if I really want to do it, never give up. Okay. Yeah? Wow, okay. So do you have a thought? But I was asking about finding your way in life. How do we find where we're going? What do we do, you think?
I never think about that.
No? That's not true. You do. That's not true. You do. You do. No, I think you think all the time about that. You know?
I think I want to be a traveler. around the world.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, cool.
See and kind and funny, special things,
Yeah, good for you.
different culture,
Yeah.
different people, different thinking. Yes, that's I want.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, no, very good. So the question then becomes, how does one get there? So, how do you get there? You know what I mean? I'm reading this book at the moment by Michael Palin. It's called Sahara, and he's gone from Europe. He's gone from Gibraltar all the way down, right, into the Sahara. Like really cool, right? Explain the Sahara, Steve. Would you mind?
沙漠，沙漠，对。
Yeah.
欧洲开始出发，然后一直往沙漠走。
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it's just traveling at the moment. Lots of sand is what's happening. There's lots of, but it's kind of cool, in a sense, right?
Because I think we never know what happened in my future.
Ever.
Yeah, but I think I will prep to face.
Yeah, for sure. And why not, so? Why not, Zoe? Honestly, why not? Right? Why not? So yeah. Are you feeling less shy? You feeling happier? Still shy? You're happier? Honest? Cross your heart. Okay. No, that's an idiom in English. Cross your heart, hope. That's an idiom. Cross your heart and hope to die is an idiom. You're not going to die. That's okay. Yeah. So Steve, tell us more about change. Tell us more. Like you had lots of thoughts there today.
Well, despite what happened around us, still we have to go back to here. That's what I believe. It's a changing world. For example, the most popular jobs 10 years ago, right now probably doesn't exist anymore. Could be. Nobody knows what's going to be in the next 10 years. So it's a changing world. But how do we cope with the change? Still, we have to go back here and ask yourself, right? Who am I? That's the ultimate question, right? What am I good at? What can I do? Probably that's something we have to deal with sooner or later.
Yeah. Be honest, eh?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
Hard to do. Yeah, and Steve, tell me if you agree. Sometimes we have situations that come to us, and we must be ready to respond. Like we're going on a certain path, and then we discover something, and it takes us maybe in a different direction. Maybe still with our career, but in a different direction. Do you think it's true? We have to respond.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said that. Always ask yourself why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be someone? Why do you want to do this and that? And it all brings you back to the original place. Why or when do you make the decision? Well, that is the reason that keep you going. Mm-hmm. For example, just like what you said, never give up, right? Well, along the way, there will be people around you that are saying that, you can't make it. No, it's too difficult, something like that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's better to do this instead of this one. Well, people will do that, right? So, how do you stick to your path? That's probably never give up.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah. Explain to me this thing about money. I'm always troubled by money. Because we have made money in the last 200 years. We have made money like a church. What I've said, when you go into a bank, everyone is like they're like priests, and everyone is very, obeisant and, oh yes, let's look at my money. Ooh, that's nice money, right? But it's just money. So is it a power that's tricking us, or? But if you give it power, because it can all go away. I told you my story playing this. When I was 27 years old, I decided that I had a friend who played the stock market, and he phoned me and he said, Leon, you have to go and buy this stock. And I said, like, what's stock. He said, well, you go to get a broker and you buy this stock. Okay, so I went and I'd saved 150,000 NT, $5,000. And I went and I bought this stock. It was called I got a broker and he's saying, you shouldn't buy this stock, it's not a good stock. I said, well, I want to buy this stock. My friend is telling me to buy this stock. So I did. It was called Breakwater. I bought $5,000 worth of this stock. And then Louise, my wife, about 2 weeks later, she'd found a house, and we're going to buy a house. Now I need this $5,000, right? So I phoned the broker, Mr. Jones or something, I guess, older man, right? Thought I was crazy, buying the wrong stock. You know, that's not how you make money on the stock market, right? And he said, I can't give you the stock back. And why not? He said, because it's been suspended pending an announcement. I said, what's the announcement? They've discovered gold. So the 5,000, okay, so I waited 3 days and the 5,000 came back and became 20,000. 20,000, I mean, this is remarkable, right? From 5,000 to 20,000, I think I'd owned the stock for 2 weeks, right? So with that 20,000, I put the down payment on our house and it was like a big deal, right? So why am I working? I must be crazy, right? I have a job, I was selling advertising, you know, I've got a university degree and blah, blah, blah. So I went and I bought as much, I borrowed all the money I could possibly borrow and I bought as much stock as I could buy. And I was making at one point $1,000 a day. That's 30,000 NT a day on the stock market. You know, why work? Right? It was obviously George Soros was right? And then then the stockbroker phoned me, you know, Bruce, I never forget this man as long as I live. Bruce Gray phoned me and he said, you have to buy this stock. And these are penny stocks, right? These are worth pennies, 10 cents, 20 cents, US dollars. I said, well, I have no more money, Bruce. He said, that's okay. The stock is going to go from whatever it was, 40 cents to $2 by Friday or Monday. So it's called buying something on margin. Like, you know, if you have a page, this is called the margin as well, but it's also a stock term, right? So I bought, okay, so I bought the stock on Thursday, and I have to pay for it on Tuesday, 4 days to close. So bought the stock, lots of stock, bought the stock, and didn't even check on Friday, right? Monday came, and Monday night, my friend, Keith Bramwell, we're still friends, he phoned me and he was drunk. He never drinks. And he goes, oh, I was crying, weeping, and I've lost my fortune. I said, hey, relax, Keith. So, what are your comments? I think we're keeping, what time is it? We're okay? Yeah, we're still okay for time. Great. So, I always think, though, you know, in a certain sense of the word, that life is curious, because, you know, like just very quick, you know, in Manchester, now there was a bombing 3 days ago, right? There's a bombing, and yeah, the big bombing in Manchester. Do we know? Yes, we know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And the question is the world a violent place? Is it? What do you think? Zoe, what do you think? Is the world violent or not violent? Is it safe or not safe?
My peace, overall peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. What do you think? Is the world violent or safe? Yeah. What do you think? It's violent or not? Okay, some, what does that mean? Some. Is that yes or no? Yes, okay, yes. Violent? What do you think? Both. Both violent and peaceful, okay. What do you think?
Yes.
Violent? It's violent, okay, yeah. So then we come to the question, you know, because I think this is being framed maybe in a very wrong way. Have then we come to the question, hello, hello, how are you? Please. So then we come to the question, have you ever been shot? No? Sorry? Shot? Yes? Shot? No? Shot? You ever been shot? No, okay. How about stabbed? You know those movies where they stab you in your... You ever been stabbed? No? Okay. Have you ever been blown up? No? No, no, really, I'm serious. No. So, me too. You know? So, if I've never been shot, and I've never been stabbed, and I've never been blown up, and I don't know anyone, you know, and I'm old, right? And I know millions of people, as we all do. I don't know anyone who's been stabbed or shot or blown up. The closest I've come to, I have a friend, her name is B. I talked about B in Belgium, and her son was at the airport in Brussels a week before the bombing, right? That's the closest I've ever come. But I don't know anyone who's been in this situation. Therefore, the world obviously is not a violent place, right? Because I only know what I know, right? So how do I know the world's a violent place? I know the violent, right? Because of this, right? I know the world's violent and dangerous because of this. But it's a lie. The world's not a violent place at all. It's a place of great joy and great peace and great happiness and love, you know, right? But we're being filled with garbage from this. And this book, Steve, I've just finished it, just lent you, you know, Against the Machine, suggests that because of the internet now, we're forced to accept A, the world's violent, B, that yellow movies, pornography, right? Sexuality between men and women, this is normal. These yellow movies, this is normal, right? You know, right? And we're forced to accept that we have to be wage slaves. We have to plug into the machine and do certain things. And yet we have these examples. You can be George Soros and be a billionaire, or Steve Jobs, never go to school, and or all a lie. Total lie, right? Total lie. That's the secret, is not be fooled by these images that are there. I honestly think, you know?
The other problem is that how am I going to differentiate what's true? What can I do with it?
Well, I think you have to be, I think critical thinking skills, right? I think you have to be smart, period. But I mean, 60 million people voted for Donald Trump, right? You know, right? 60 million, right? That's a lot of people. And I listened to a man the other day going, he's the best president we've ever had.
He said that?
Yeah. Say what? You know? I don't know. To me, not the best president, just looking at his actions and looking at his family, those plastic people, and looking at his wife, right? But 60 million people, Americans, best country in the world, best culture in the world, best education in the world. Ouch. Yeah?
But it seems that here in Taiwan, nobody teaches the critical thinking.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we talk about it, don't we? We push it. We go to school, you know? We bore people, you know? But why not? Why not talk about it, you know? Yeah. Because I always think, you know, I always think in English, you know, we all study English and we're talking in English today, right? Of course. But I think English is, the way we learn English is unfortunate. And it goes for me as well, you know? All of us learn English from the grammar side, I think. I am, you are, he, she, it is, right? Very boring. But people like Dr. Krashen, you know, he says that that's not the purpose of any language, let alone English. The only purpose is to communicate, to talk to people, right? The communicative approach. So he says that we need essentially three things. Firstly, we need first impression. I mean, are we polite to people? Do we stand up? Do we shake your hand, look at your eyes? Secondly, do we eat properly? We talked about, do I know how to use a knife and fork properly? Social etiquette, right, this word? What's this word in Mandarin, Steve? Yeah. We must know how to use a knife and fork properly. Very important. Do you dance? The answer is yes. They're good for you. Yeah. No, but yes, even, I don't dance, but I always say yes. Even dance poorly, we always say yes, right? Part of our social, older people in particular, right? And then thirdly, am I proud of my English, right? Or any language, right? Like, I don't have to tell you I'm shy, I'm afraid. How's your, you speak English very well. And people, no, I don't. My mother says my English is terrible, right? Right? But just be proud of where you are today, Like, why not? Like, what you wrote. Like, why not? Right? So that's sort of what I sort of feel, that this is how we overcome, change, which is what we started talking about. We have to change the world, change ourselves, and honestly believe it's a good society. It's not a corrupt or a dishonest or a dangerous society anywhere. Like, I'm going to India, in a month or so, right? And I've been to India before, and everyone says in India, I've told you, in India, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to get sick, right? First thing, somebody told me 4 days. That's the most you're going to last, and you're going to get sick, right? 4 days. I told you I went to a doctor. Very funny. I went to a doctor, my doctor, and I said to him, "Excuse me, I'm going to be sick." And he said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be sick. I need some medicine." And "You're going to be sick when?" I don't know. Soon. Yeah, he thought I was crazy, of course. So, but didn't get sick, right? Didn't get sick at all. Didn't get robbed, didn't get shot, didn't get blown up. Oh, so that'd be kind of cool, blown up, right? So I had a good experience. I'm going to do it again. I'm going up to the mountains into the tea area, Darjeeling. I can't pronounce it properly, right? So yeah. So I think it's kind of, essential, right? Tell me if you agree with me. Like, we're being asked, just to close, we're being asked now to accept, right, in the world, we're being asked to accept that the world is a violent place. And this is normal. It's normal for 22 kids to get killed in Manchester or some other bombing, and we just accept, and we think, oh, thank God that wasn't me. Thank God I wasn't there, right? And we're being asked to accept in the human experience that this is normal, right? But I would venture to say it's not normal. Violence is not normal. And I think by framing it as if it's normal, it's extreme, but it's still normal within our normal sort of value system. We give it more power, right? We really do. We empower crazy people to kill us. And there's always been bombings and shootings. Read some history, right? There's been things a lot worse than this bombing in Manchester. Honestly, as horrible as it sounds. When they went into Jerusalem in 1099, they killed 30,000 people. The blood was this deep, supposedly. Yeah, the narrow streets in Jerusalem, the blood was this deep. They killed everybody. Everybody. The Jews, the Christians, the dogs, they just went crazy for 4 days. They've been told that this was God's city, these ignorant, unwashed crusaders. Yeah, the Muslims were just terrified, right? Of these, who are these people? They killed everybody in the city. But nobody writes this up, we did it to the Muslims 1,000 years. And really, let's give some context to what's going on. Very unfortunate that these people, somehow believe some religion that allows them to do this. It's very unfortunate. But I don't think we can energize it, Your thoughts?
I also believe that it depends on what kind of glasses you use to look at the world.
Yeah.
If you look at the world, well, a violent world, then you'll definitely see some violent things. If you feel that it's a harsh world, then you'll definitely experience some harsh things. That's what I believe. So be very careful with your glasses. Always wipe it clean.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I think.
Hard to do, Steve, right?
No.
But if you're getting 80,000 bits of information every single day, most of it negative, hard to do. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's why I don't watch TV.
But you got the internet.
But I could choose. But I could choose what I want to read, what I want to get to know deeper. Yeah, this is up to me, right? I got the power to choose. I know what I want, right? I don't look at those negative things.
But when you're young, it's hard to choose, right?
Well, you can still make the decision.
Can you? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, so thank you. Thank you for coming. You're very kind. Do you have any questions? 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 No questions? Many questions, I know, yeah. No questions?
Why?
Yeah. Why?
Why should we ignore the violence?
Well, I don't think we can ignore it, right? No, but I think we have to place it in context. Because you have no experience in violence, right?
But maybe we know that the violence exists and we can, we can have, it's not a bad thing to know that the violence exists.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but
For sure.
then why not? Why should we choose to read, to ignore the negative news and try to read the good news?
Well, I think, okay, good question. Well, I think first and foremostly, most of us do not experience violence in our lives, period. Right? So this is something that's artificial. So
Violence could be lots of ways.
Pardon me?
Like verbal violence.
Sure.
And I think we all experience that. Like verbal violence. And,
We do. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But I think personally that, many people say, let's draw an example. Many people say that we as human beings are selfish.
Yeah.
We're naturally selfish, right? But when we left the Rift Valley in Ethiopia 100,000 years ago, right? We had to march out all the way up through whatever Asia Minor, and we had to be in groups of people. And if I was selfish, then I wasn't protecting the man in front of me, and the man behind me wasn't protecting me. So selfishness, I believe, is not a natural human trait, but fear is. If there are 3 people and 5 apples, someone will take 3 apples for sure. And is that selfish, or is it just fear that someone else will take this? So I think verbal violence or all of the things like this, are always based on fear inside the self. And the great pacifists, and I understand totally what you're saying. The great pacifists like Gandhi or Tolstoy, they always say that we must understand real peacefulness, real pacifism, right? So I do think, I'm not asking anyone to ignore, verbal abuse. I've experienced it myself. I've been hit and all of these things. But I don't think it's the natural human experience. And the reason I say this is, if I look at you and I say, I love you, right? You understand this, right? You do. I can love you like a woman, I can love you like a friend, colleague, student, whatever. We all understand love. But if I say I hate you, what kind of hate? What is it, to hate you don't like the way I look, or you don't like the way I think, right? But hate is unique, right? You can't understand it. But love, we all seem to comprehend love, which suggests to me, as an old man, that the world is a loving environment. And these other things are aberrations. They're not normal. Now there is a new area of amorality which is being studied. So we have moral, immoral, and amoral, right? Which is I hit you and I feel nothing, right? And maybe the suicide bombers are into that sphere, you know, that they feel nothing. They talk about a God, but maybe the God is just a small piece of why I do these horrible things, you know, right? I mean, if you read on suicide bombing, it's really an interesting phenomenon because it's all ages and all social classes, right? And all non-religious, religious, educated, not educated, mostly men. But it seems to have some energy for certain people, right? But I don't think it's normal, you know, just like I don't think abuse of women is normal, treat women less than treating men. It's not normal behavior, right? But I think, like women, if we, you know, if we as women accept rudeness or misogyny, you know, hating women, all these things, we accept it, right? And just like violence, if I accept that these crazy people these crazy Muslims are doing these things as normal, then I've kind of adopted this, you know, and I reject, personally, I reject it, and I'm not naive, you know this. I'm a man of the world. I see things, but it's not a part of the normal human experience. I think. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Does it? I'm not sure if it makes sense, but I think it makes sense, yeah. Any questions? Yeah. No? Wrong day for questions? Sorry, it's okay. You don't have. You can ask him in Mandarin if you have a question. Right? Yeah. Do you have a question? Yeah.
No.
No question? No? Not yet, okay. You know we have our line. We're all online. You know, you can join our line. We have a group DBA line. You're welcome to join. Yeah, and the lady's name is Yumi, U-M-I. You can talk to her. We have a small talk session. Hello, how are you? Yeah, do you have any questions? No? Geez, this is too easy. So, any questions? No questions? Are you shy? Are you shy? No, you look shy. Are you shy?
No.
Good, no shy. Any questions? What we're trying to do here in a very humble way, we're not trying to sell anything. All we're trying to do is provoke thought. That's all we're about, our whole idea. Just we want people just to think of these issues. And these issues that are serious. So we don't adopt the normal course of society because it's not normal.